They say imitation is the highest form of flattery. So, welcome to a video of copying Animaniacs because I am too uncreative to do something original. To be able to copy Animaniacs, we first must understand his style of video making. Every original content creator has their own style of content, and this absolute Chad of a YouTuber most certainly has his own. After thousands of hours of studying his videos, I have concluded how to exactly replicate his style of video making. His videos mostly consist of white or white with a black outline colored Comic Sans text against a solid black or picture background. His personality is also quite unique. Despite us never seeing his face or really anything of him outside of his voice from his videos, it's still possible to replicate how he talks. Anyone who has watched his videos can tell that his voice is very low, but also quite dramatic. He adds brief, unnecessary pauses in between seemingly random places in sentences in order to further increase dramaticness. For example,
because I am a big fan of the older sister type. However, I am also anti-authority and also anti-society.
As you can hear in that clip, he adds a short but longer than usual pause between the words also and anti-authority, as well as in between also and anti-society. In traditional speaking, there would be a comma there, and that would cause a slight pause, but it would be barely noticeable. He instead treats the comma like a period, pausing for a bit too long, and even saying the following words with a slight emphasis, as if they were the start of a new sentence. Finally, we move on to his thumbnails, titles, and video descriptions. They are simple to replicate. His titles ask a question relating to anime that the video will then answer. His thumbnails are Comic Sans text with an image. Lastly, his descriptions are usually just restatements of his title question or something that increases the importance of the title question, such as calling it the greatest debate finally answered. Now that I've finally stopped talking about how to replicate Animaniacs, maybe it's time for me to actually do so. Ever since the anime The Quintessential Quintuplets was released, there has been an age-old question that needs to be answered. How much money did the fireworks show in episodes 4 to 5 cost the city? The show not only seemed extraordinarily grand and awesome, but also very long. The timer that was shown throughout the 2 episodes told us that the fireworks show was nearly an hour long. Something this large scale must have certainly costed whoever hosted this show an extremely significant amount of money. To first calculate how much this show costed, we must first determine the type of fireworks display it is. There are a multitude of different types of fireworks shows, too many to list here. The category that this show probably falls into is a main event pyrotechnics. It's just a grander version of a traditional fireworks show. Most of these shows typically cost $7,000 to $20,000. However, most shows are also not an hour in length. For a show of a similar scale, the fireworks alone usually cost $500 to $1,000 a minute. Considering how extravagant this show was, I'll say it's at the higher end at $1,000 a minute. This show was an hour long, which is 60 minutes. Meaning that the fireworks of this show probably costed around $60,000. However, that's not the full equation. There is more to a fireworks show than just buying fireworks. Fireworks do not just launch themselves. They need to be set up by laborers, and their placement needs to be designed by a pyrotechnics expert. All this will probably tack on another $20,000. Furthermore, actual fireworks shows need to have air clearance before launching. This show is in the middle of a densely populated city, so the organizers probably had to pay the city to make sure that no planes were flying over their fireworks, because a plane getting hit by a firework would not be a very fun time. They probably had to pay the city another $20,000 to shut down their airport for an hour and stop all air traffic overhead. In conclusion, if you account for all external costs of this fireworks display, it probably costed nearly 100,000 US dollars. If you converted this into Japanese yen, which is where the show Quintessential Quintuplets takes place, it would cost over 10,583,900 Japanese yen. So, there you have it. Someone spent over twice the national annual salary on a fireworks show just for Ichika to miss it all.